It's been another Mythos leak story. First, Anthropic announced Claude Mythos Preview, a powerful new AI model designed for defensive cybersecurity. Then, Reuters said unauthorized users somehow got access to it. And now, the open source community is already trying to rebuild the idea behind it. So today, let's break down what actually happened. What is Claude Mythos? Why is Anthropic keeping access limited? Who is allowed to use it? And why does this one model feel like a preview of the next big AI security race? Let's start with the official definition. On Anthropic's Red Team website, Claude Mythos Preview is described as a new general-purpose language model. That part is important. Anthropic is not saying this is just a hacking model. It is a general-purpose model that performs strongly across the board. But the reason everyone is talking about it is because it is especially capable at computer security tasks. In simple words, Mythos is extremely good at understanding complex software systems. And when an AI can understand software deeply enough, it can also find where that software breaks. That means it can help defenders find vulnerabilities, test code, secure infrastructure, and fix weaknesses before attackers exploit them. But it also creates a huge risk, because the same capability that helps defenders can also help attackers. That is why Claude Mythos is not being released like a normal Claude model. It is part of Project Glasswing, a controlled initiative where selected organizations use the model for defensive cybersecurity work. Now, here's the part a lot of people misunderstand. Claude Mythos is not simply locked away forever. A better way to say it is this. Anthropic is keeping the release limited while it tests how to safely deploy this kind of cybersecurity power. In Anthropic's own documentation, Claude Mythos Preview is offered separately as a research preview model for defensive cybersecurity workflows. Access is invitation only. There is no self-serve sign-up. And Anthropic has said they do not plan to make Claude Mythos Preview generally available right now. Instead, their goal is to learn how to safely deploy future Mythos-class models at scale. That is the real story. This is not just about one unreleased model. It is about a new category of AI. Models that can reason through code, discover software weaknesses, and potentially reshape cybersecurity. Then, the story took a dramatic turn. Reuters, citing Bloomberg, reported that a small group of unauthorized users had accessed Anthropic's new Mythos model. According to the report, the users were part of a private online forum and gained access around the same day Anthropic announced the limited release plan. Anthropic responded by saying they were investigating a report of unauthorized access through one of their third-party vendor environments. Now, this is very important. This does not mean the full model was leaked. It does not mean the weights are public. It does not mean anyone can download Claude Mythos. What it means is that there was reported unauthorized access to the model. And for a model this sensitive, that is already a big deal. Because if Anthropic is saying this model is powerful enough to require controlled access, then the access control itself becomes part of the story. The Verge called the situation embarrassing for Anthropic, especially because Anthropic has built its brand around AI safety and responsible deployment. And that is what makes this story so fascinating. The model is powerful, the rollout is restricted, but the reported access incident shows how difficult it may be to control frontier AI systems once they become highly valuable targets. So if the public cannot use Mythos, who can? This is where Project Glasswing comes in. Anthropic announced Project Glasswing as a major cybersecurity initiative involving some of the most important companies and organizations in tech. The launch partners include Amazon Web Services, Anthropic, Apple, Broadcom, Cisco, CrowdStrike, Google, JP Morgan Chase, the Linux Foundation, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Palo Alto Networks. And Anthropic also said it extended access to more than 40 additional organizations that build or maintain critical software infrastructure. Why these groups? Because they control or protect huge parts of the internet, cloud infrastructure, enterprise software, open source systems, financial systems, and security platforms. Anthropic says these partners will use Mythos Preview to find and fix vulnerabilities or weaknesses in foundational systems. The goal is defensive. Give trusted organizations early access so they can secure critical systems before similar AI capabilities become more widely available. This is not just a product launch. This is a coordinated security experiment.
Here is why this matters. For years, cybersecurity has depended on human experts finding bugs, writing reports, and helping companies patch systems. But Mythos suggests we are entering a new era. An AI model may be able to scan complex code bases, reason through vulnerabilities, and help defenders move much faster. That sounds amazing. But it also raises the scary question. What happens when attackers get access to similar tools? CrowdStrike's quote on the Project Glasswing page says the window between discovering a vulnerability and seeing it exploited has collapsed. What used to take months can now happen much faster. That is the core tension of Claude Mythos. If defenders get it first, it could make the internet safer. If attackers get similar capabilities first, the world could see faster, more automated, more sophisticated cyber attacks. So this is not just a Claude story. This is a cybersecurity arms race story. Now, where does Open Mythos fit into this story? Open Mythos is not the main event, but it is a very interesting side effect. Because once people heard about Claude Mythos, the open source community immediately started asking, what does the architecture look like? How does it work? Can we recreate the idea? That is where Kai Gomez's Open Mythos project comes in. Open Mythos is an open source theoretical reconstruction of the Claude Mythos architecture. But the disclaimer is clear. It is independent, it is community-driven, it is based on public research and speculation. It is not affiliated with Anthropic, not endorsed by Anthropic, and not connected to Anthropic's proprietary systems. So Open Mythos is not free Claude Mythos. It is more like a research playground inspired by the Mythos conversation. Technically, it explores a recurrent depth transformer, a model architecture where part of the network loops multiple times to create deeper processing. Instead of only making a model bigger, the idea is to make it think longer. That is why Open Mythos is worth mentioning. Not because it proves anything about the real Claude Mythos, but because it shows how fast open source AI reacts when a closed frontier model becomes famous. Before I give you my take, I want to hear yours. Do you think models like Claude Mythos should stay restricted to trusted security teams? Or should more developers and open source maintainers get access so they can defend their own systems? Comment below with one word. Restricted if you think access should stay tightly controlled. Or open if you think more people should be allowed to use these tools for defense. I'll read the best comments and may feature them in a future AI Fire update. Continue with the video. Here is my personal view. I think Anthropic is right to be careful. If Mythos really has the level of cybersecurity capability Anthropic describes, then releasing it like a normal chatbot would be irresponsible. But I also think the unauthorized access report exposes a major challenge. The more powerful these models become, the more people will try to get access. And not all of them will be harmless researchers just testing boundaries. Some will be financially motivated, some may be state-backed, some may be criminal groups. So the future is not just about building more powerful AI models. It is also about building stronger access control, monitoring, auditing, and safety systems around those models. To me, Claude Mythos is a warning sign. The next AI race will not only be about intelligence, it will be about control. Who gets access? Under what rules? With what safeguards? And who is responsible when something goes wrong? So here is the quick recap. Claude Mythos Preview is a powerful, unreleased frontier model from Anthropic focused heavily on coding and cybersecurity. It is not generally available. Access is invitation only through Project Glasswing. Partners like AWS, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, CrowdStrike, the Linux Foundation, JP Morgan Chase, and Palo Alto Networks are involved in using it for defensive security. Then, reports said unauthorized users accessed the model through a third-party vendor environment. And Open Mythos appeared as an open-source, unofficial attempt to explore what a Mythos-like architecture might look like. But the main story is bigger than any one repo.
Claude Mythos shows that AI is moving into security-critical territory. And once AI can find software weaknesses at scale, the question is no longer just how smart is the model? The question is who gets to use it? If you found this breakdown useful, hit like, subscribe to AI Fire, and turn on notifications. We cover the biggest AI updates, tools, and workflows in a practical way, so you can stay ahead without drowning in hype. And comment below, should Claude Mythos stay restricted, or should more people get access for defense? I'll see you in the next AI Fire update.